Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Elliott wave count for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And with the S&P 500 here, as you know, we have two counts. One is bullish and one is bearish. And we're at a junction now where it matters which one is which. And we'll need a good few days to gather evidence to be able to choose a direction. So the first one is here where we have wave 3 here. An A wave here, then an A and a B, and 5 waves up for the C wave of B here. So an A and a B, and then 5 waves down for C of wave 4. So we can see that we've finished our last little 5 waves up here, and we've started to get our turn. So it's possible that this can just move down further through here. So we'll need a strategy for that, but we'll also need a strategy for the long side as well. So for the long side here, we've been counting this up here, a little bit like the NASDAQ, slightly different though. Wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here, for wave 4 being completed already, and we're looking for a bullish move to the upside with wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then wave 1 and wave 2. If this is going to be the case, then we're going to see a very strong move in this wave 3 here, because it will be the third of the third, and then we'll get to the third again as well. It's not like we're going to miss it, because we would need to see 5 waves up, and then we'll get 3 waves back here, but then this would be in wave 1 of the next smaller degree and wave 2. So we would see the market really sort of gap in this section through here. So yeah, that's that. So we really need to drill in here, and it's a little bit painstaking, and we need to understand both counts. So this move from wave 2 here to wave 1 here has pulled back into, well, this is the 50 and the 61.8% retracement level. So it's possible that that the low is in place here. It's also possible that because this move down through here can be counted as an A and a B and a C wave here. But yeah, look, we just need to get a bit of tactics coming on in here. So I suppose the hourly chart's a reasonable start. So with this here, from the top here, we can look at it as wave 1 and coming back for an A, which will be this wave over here. Just move that a bit closer. Wave A here, wave B here, and wave C down here for wave 2. And then we move up from that point. That needs one more little move to the upside here anyway to finish that off, I think. So we'll look at that in a moment on the tick chart. So yes, wave 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, back for the B wave, and down for the C wave for wave 2, and we head higher at that point. So if that's the case, and we're going to be continuing moving up through here, then this number over here, the orange line within there, we don't need that anymore. If you've traded short, that's good. So we'd be looking to trade long over here in this instance here. Let's just put this on the outside. We'll grab that there, copy that. We're looking at both counts here. So we could say that with support on 27.72 here, that little number in there, then we go long from that point. And we'll look at that in more detail. And just on the flip side here, on the short side, the 27.50 here as a retested resistance, we would look to go to the short side here. Okay, but we'll drill in a little bit closer to those. So on the bearish side, looking at this as wave B up here, then we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, back for wave 2, then down for wave 1, and then back for wave 2, and then moving down further from that point. Okay, coming down here, and we'll look at this on the tick chart in a moment. So they're the two counts, and like I said, it's a little bit painstaking, and we just need to be able to move through this pattern to a point where we do understand it. So Having a nice tested support on the 72 number here is where you put the first trade, and then build on that onto the 80 here, and then just hold on. And there will be you can get out at depends on how some people trade trends, some people scalp. Everybody's doing different things. So, but there will be resistance at these old highs and at this number here. So just on the tick chart, working through this scenario here, squash this back in. So from the top here, we can look at this as wave one. Remember when we had our first 5 waves here, we knew that we were going to get a second lot of 5 waves after correction. This correction here wasn't very easy because it looked very impulsive, like 5 waves. But anyway, they came in here, and then we looked to go short under here, and if you've captured some of this, well then fantastic. But in Elliott terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, and then wave 2, and then wave 1 of the next smaller degree, and then wave 2 coming in through here in this instance. But at the same time, you know that we can also look at this as the ABC here. So I'll just copy that there. I'll just do it over here. So they're both valid. You just need to probably have one more session to be able to figure this out properly. Once the trend starts, then it's much easier at that point. So an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave on this low here, which would turn this little trend bullish up here. But in this little trend moving up here, I've counted it as corrective, but it can be, I will change it into a bullish count if this number here, the 272, becomes the support. Okay, so in this instance here, I'm looking at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, wave 5 here for the A wave here. I suppose it's possible to put the A wave on top here, but it just counts better as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. In this instance here, then we need to look at this moving up here. We could probably, if we've got any little guys over here, yeah, we could use these as 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 into here. I'll just bring this back here. So yes, so we're looking for 5 waves up here into this box here. Well, it's quite interesting really, because that's my target area. They're just extensions off wave 3 and 4, and also taking 61.8% of wave 3 here and adding it to the low here. So I get this box here basically as a rough estimate there. But also too, we've got this trend line coming through here, and we've also got my magic number here of 72. So if that becomes support, at this stage here, we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and going up for wave 3, 4, and 5 here to finish in the box. So then it can fall over from that point. So we need to be mindful of that. It's also possible while we're here as well, just to add a spanner in the works, it's also possible to have all of these here, wave 5 of C of 2 here on top of wave 3 here, because it's a little bit tricky, but and I won't go into the to the fine details of, but there is in here there's a little move in here that can be counted as 1 and 2 here, and if that's the case, then it makes this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, but it has made a new low by 1 point below this one here, so I can't really do that, and I have to sort of wait to see if we get one more push up into here. So with that the case, if I had used that there, then we could also look to, if I can just push this up into here, we can also look to go short there as well. I'll put that back under the 50 here, but we can go short at that point there. You could probably even move it up under this one here now as well. So But yeah, I'll just leave you with that. So it's going to take a session to sort out, but any significant move down through here, we can look at the bearish side on that, and on the bullish side for this, with support on the 272 here, we can move there. But the other point here too is that this is group 2 here, subgroup 2, so 65, 72 and 80. So the market will spend time in there and correct, and this trend here will need to correct here as well, so be a little bit mindful of that. So even in this move up here, if we looked at this here as 1 and 2 in here, then we would need to look at this as the third wave in here, then there'll be the fourth wave, and then a fifth wave here, then there'll be an A and a B and a C here. So we're not going to miss out. It will take a little while for that to play out at that point there. So look, that's our line in the sand in this little space here. So as tempting as it may be to push a button and have a trade, I'd certainly wait for this to unfold here. The Asian markets, the China and Hong Kong, look quite bearish, as do the European market. So the short side is really where we're looking at the moment, but the long one, you know, needs to be support, needs to push higher, really, technically above this high here of wave B, wave 2 here, and then we can look at being bullish from that point. But even then, it's going to pull back. You know what I mean? It's going to pull back, so we'll be able to get into it from that point. But we do need this to play out in this space here, and this is the same for the NASDAQ as well. So with the NASDAQ here, we're looking at this being in a bullish mode here, but we've got wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here for wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to be up here as wave 1, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2 into this space here, and then moving up from that point. I still can't leave this wave 4 out here with the same with the S&P 500 here, and in that case here, then we would look at this is the B wave up here, and then 5 waves down for the C wave here. So yeah, look, in this case here, from wave 4 here to wave 5, we've been counting 5 waves as 1 and 2. Don't need that there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've got our top here. So we'd need to see, this is 7,300 here. So we've got a medium level here of 6,500, and then we've got 7,000, which obviously is important. So we can just put that in there. I'll just give that a straighter line. And then we've got from 7,000, we've got 100, 200 and 300. If we get a tested support, it's a long way to go yet, if we get a tested support on top of 300, well, then we can look at 500 being a target area. But we don't have that, and to get support on this level here, then we would need to see the arrival, which we've got, the reaction, which we've got, then the first high above the level, and then a corrective pattern here, and then support on here, and we can take these highs out through here. This is a classic trading levels pattern, and there is a variation of that, but this is the most common pattern, and we'd need to see that sitting there, and it is working through this at the moment in terms of the arrival and the reaction here. I'm not sure what charts we've been working on. So, okay, this one here. So from wave 4 low here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then we've been looking up here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. The move down here, look, it can be counted as corrective or an impulse wave to the downside. So a bullish corrective pattern or the other way. It's exactly the same as the S&P 500. So a move above this level here would be would change the count, but not necessarily into a bullish count either. It could still be an A wave to here, a B wave taking the top out here, and a C wave moving down through here. And you know, even if it even if it does push up through here, it's going to fold back once it hits these supply levels through here anyway. So there will be some sort of movement back here. So we'll have time to catch it in case there's any other move to the upside up here. But as a wave 1 to this point here, it just looks a little bit small to be a wave 2 sitting here. That correction there just seems a little bit small. So I would imagine that needs to play out a little bit more as such. So we can look at that. So the hourly chart is not really going to tell us that much more. So this is our 61.8% mark here. I'll just double check that even from this high here. Yep, that's where that's come from. So that's yeah, I'll just have to go to a tick chart to have a look at this here. But basically that counts the same as the other market. So right, so yeah, it's the same as this is the rally up here. So this can be viewed as an A wave, a B wave to here, and then the C wave all the way up through to here, 5 waves up to the C wave here. And I'll just check this here. 1 and the 2, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. So all of that being the third wave, fourth wave, and a fifth wave. That can even go up further now too. So I'll just put that because I can see we've got 1 and 2 and strong third wave in here, fourth wave in here, and a fifth wave. So that will push up even a bit higher in here before it fades out. So I'll just put that up there. That's to the 50 there. And then that can fold back down after that. So look, we just need another session to, well, probably even 2 really, because we know that this will top out anyway, and fold back. So we just need a little bit of time and gather a little bit of evidence for this to play out a little bit further. So. Yeah, look for the charts tonight and the video on Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.